So we will now continue the work on implementing the getReading method. We already implemented the code for obtaining the current time. We have an object of type clock, and on that object we call the getCurrentTime method. So now we also need to get back the current temperature and the current humidity. So how do we do that? Well, again, we invoke the appropriate method on the objects that we have available. So we want to get the temperature, and in order to do that we will invoke a method on the thermometer instance field, and let's just check back to the thermometer class itself to see what was the name of the method. It was called getTemperature, and it returns an int. So we will simply call this method like so, and that should return the current temperature to us. And finally we need the humidity, and we will retrieve the humidity by making the proper method call on the hygrometer object. So just as before, the name of the instance field and a dot, and again let's check back to see what was the name of the method. It was called getHumidity. So let's call that method like so. So now we have the current time, the current temperature, and the current humidity, all obtained by invoking methods on objects of a different class. So all that is left for us now is actually to print out this information in a formatted way as specified in the text. So we use the standard way of printing out information, system.out.println, and the text was supposed to go something like this: at, and then the time, like so. The temperature was, and then the actual value of the temperature, and then the units for the temperature, degrees, followed by the humidity, the line becomes a little bit long, but that's just a detail, and then the actual value of the humidity, and the unit for humidity is %. So let's just check that the string looks correct. It reads at, and then the time, the temperature was the temperature, whatever value that is, degrees, and finally, and the humidity was the value of the humidity, followed by %. So let's see if this compiles. It does. So we can go ahead and make a little test. We simply create a new object of type WeatherStation, like so. It appears on the object bench, and we can go ahead and call the getReading method. And as you can see in the terminal window here, it looks pretty much as specified: at, and then the date and the time. The temperature was 28 degrees and the humidity was 73 degrees. We can try to make another call. We get some different values, and so on and so on. So we seem to have solved the task. And again, how did we solve it? Well, we utilized the fact that we had 3 other classes available that provided the functionality that we needed. So we didn't really do much ourselves. We created objects of the respective classes. We used these objects to invoke methods on them, and those methods gave us back the information that we need, more specifically the current time, the current temperature, and the current humidity. And we simply formatted that information into a proper string that we could print out and show to the user. So by utilizing these existing classes and thereby solving the task by object interaction, we were able to do it in a fairly simple manner, since we had some existing classes available that provided the requested functionality to us. So this has been a simple example of using object interaction.